Okay, guys, so I'm going to discuss the concept of crowdfunding. Now, what exactly is this crowdfunding? It's one of the current issues for the SBR, and it's something that's taking place nowadays globally. So let me just explain to you the concept of crowdfunding, that what exactly is it? What are the different types of crowdfundings that exist? And what could be the implications for the accounting when it comes to crowdfunding? So first of all, let me just explain to you people that you see what happens is that whenever you have got a startup business, I mean, in fact, I would not just go on to the startup business. I would rather go on to discussing in general that what a crowdfunding is going to be. See, if we need finance, what we generally do is that we go to a bank for the debt finance, or we go to exchange where we would actually want to issue the shares. But going to a bank, going to exchange to issue the shares, or going to exchange to issue the bond is practically not possible for every single organization, especially for those organizations which are in their starting phase. So basically, there is actually a concept of crowdfunding for the organizations which are unable to gather the funds through these sources, which is going into the equity market, going into the debt market, or going to a bank. So what is this crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is basically there are different type of platforms, which are majorly the websites that do exist in the world. Like for example, there is basically a website which is called Kickstart. There is a website which is called GoFundMe, etc. And there are many other crowdfunding platforms that do exist globally. What do these platforms they do? They allow a company that if you wish to raise finance, you come to our platform, and we have got ample amount of investors who are there who are going to be willing to invest into the company. And what we could do is that we could help you arrange a significant amount of finance. Now, the only difference is that there are going to be a very, very large number of people who are going to be funding the company. And it's more of a non-conventional type of the platform through which you are raising finance. So usually the high growth startups, uh, the techs, etc., the tech companies, they usually go for this type of crowdfunding. So when you go for the crowdfunding, there are different ways of raising the funds from the crowd. And again, what are those different type of methods? So one of them is the debt based. The other one of them is an equity based. The third one of them is a reward based. And the fourth one of them is actually a donation based. Now, what is this debt based, equity based? So just like you would issue a bond, just like you would issue a debenture, you would be raising finance from the public, and in return you would be guaranteeing them that you would be paying an interest, plus you would be guaranteeing them that you would be repaying the principal. When it comes to the equity crowdfunding, so equity crowdfunding is simply just like you are issuing the stocks or the shares of the company to the investors, and in return you are committing that you will ultimately be paying off the dividends to them. If we talk about the reward base could be multiple things, like maybe possible the product that you are going to be manufacturing, or maybe possible any other type of reward like some coupon, some voucher, etc. Things like that. You could actually commit people to have a reward if they fund you right now. And lastly, the donation based crowdfunding. This is usually for the charitable institutions, that if we have got a charitable institution, so generally what happens is that those charitable institutions attracts the crowd in general that come and fund us, because we are a charity, we are doing XYZ task, we are doing XYZ work, and we're going to help you out. Now, let me just give you a bit of an idea. From the perspective of accounting, what is it that you need to understand with respect to crowdfunding? From the perspective of accounting, what you need to understand for the crowdfunding is that how exactly are we going to be dealing with it? What are going to be the financial reporting standards implication? So see, if you obtain funds from the crowd and that is in the form of debt, if it's a debt-based crowdfunding, so for the debt-based crowdfunding, you would be recognizing a financial liability in accordance with IFRS 9. If it's a equity-based crowdfunding, you would be recognizing an equity instrument in accordance with IAS 32. If it is going to be a reward based, then that means what happens is that, for example, if I'm going to be manufacturing whatever product that I'm manufacturing, I will be selling it out to you people. Let's say that I'm a company which is developing this type of headphones, microphones, and I'm committing to the people that come and fund me. I'm gonna deliver you X number of these headphones XYZ. So what is actually going to happen is that they are the products which I have committed to deliver to them. So what I would be doing is that I would be accounting for the delivery of the product in accordance with IFRS 15 as a revenue recognition from contracts. And plus, again, when you talk about the donations, the donations are simply the capital funding for the not-for-profit organization. So whatever the accounting is standards for the not-for-profit organizations are, you are probably going to apply them. So generally speaking, when we talk about the concept of crowdfunding is one of those techniques where you raise finance from the crowd, from the general public at large. There is a large number of investors. There are a large number of debt providers who actually provide funds to you, who actually support you. And why do you go for that? Because it's not possible for you to go into the equity market, for you to go into the conventional debt markets, or for you to go into the banks. So it's a modern day concept, and a lot of companies, they are utilizing this concept. And there are different type of platforms which are actually assisting you to crowd fund your organization so that you could actually seek funds from the crowd. And that's how it actually goes about. So I hope that you all are able to understand what crowdfunding is all about.